Alrighty, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Serving Nerve, where we talk about whatever we want. And today we're going to be talking about cooking inside of Walmart. Yeah, so you know those videos that always tend to go viral with some, dudes usually that go into stores, cause some sort of a ruckus, and then, find that it's funny? Today I kind of want to talk about that. There's a fine line, in my opinion, that people tend to cross when it comes to doing these, more provocative videos in public spaces or private establishments. And I've worked in retail before, and I know a lot of you guys have, and there's a point where, you don't really mind a lot of things that people tend to do in stores and, marketplaces and stuff like that. But there's a threshold where if you don't do anything about it, you can get into a lot of trouble, you can get fired, you can have safety risks, health hazards, and you can also just, get fed up with people who want to go viral on the internet for no freaking reason other than to create more dismay for you. So while they're getting rich off of your dismay on the internet, you're working your low minimum wage type job, having to constantly traverse the aisles for some idiot who wants to go viral. And it's really, really, really annoying. Now, I'm also one of those people who hates Walmart because I find that it's one of the worst stores ever to go into. It's incredibly annoying to be in a Walmart and have to, be serviced in a Walmart. It usually takes, half an hour to get through checkout. Everything's self-checkout. Or when it's not, it takes, again, half an hour, 45 minutes, depending on how busy a Walmart is. Most of the Walmarts I go to, they're huge, so there's tons of people there, and it's really hard when you only have, two people rocking the tills at Walmart. So I know I can go off all day about how much Walmart sucks, but I'd rather just talk about how these guys kind of suck, and, yeah. By all means, do criticize me if you find that I'm overreacting to the stupidity that is, but I personally find that this kind of a provocative video is not really gonna make you look like anything more than a jerk online. So anyways, let's just get into it, and we'll kind of break it down. I have seen this video before, but I want to go through it and kind of show you guys what my issue is with it.
Cook a meal inside of Walmart. Okay.
You're gonna need to stop.
You can't cook in here.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna go.
That's good.
Wait. Don't.
So, it could be a staged video. They also very likely did purchase all of these things prior to using them in a Walmart. I'm not here to say that they're trying to steal from Walmart or anything like that, but just on the basis of there being a potential safety hazard, usually having guys that are trying to cook inside of a, enclosed building that isn't probably meant to have people cooking inside of it, you've got a potential safety hazard if you got a kid running down the aisle or doing something like that, and they happen to come across these dudes and there's some sort of interaction or the kids could get access to something. And on top of that, just in general, having random people, cooking things, having hot pans in a Walmart, whatever the case is, I know it sounds a little bit weird, but I feel like there's a potential safety hazard that could go into this. Not for most people, but the concern is there, so I feel like it's completely understandable as a member of staff to have to stop this. I know it's kind of funny, because, even the girl, she's kind of smiling. It is kind of funny. The idea of having somebody, try and cook in Walmart and having these two ridiculous dudes in Walmart, setting up a whole station just to cook some eggs and bacon in. It's funny, but it's also incredibly annoying, and as a manager or as a member of staff, you have to deal with these people, and you don't actually know what they're going to do. For all you know, they could be the annoying people who will throw things all over the floor, like the people who did with, the milk throwing trend. You just have no idea. So, the idea of having to have this dealt with in Walmart is incredibly annoying. At the very least, you're not paid enough to deal with this kind of crap.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna go.
That's good.
Wait. Don't.
Need your eggs done. Let him cook!
No, we're just eating.
You can't do that here. You want some?
Eating?
You got some guys frying food in the toy aisle. Hey guys.
I feel like it's just a terrible idea. And this is the problem I have. It's this video is on YouTube Shorts. It's probably got millions of views. It's got 76,000 plus likes. People find this kind of content entertaining. But the question I have to ask, is it really worth it to go viral, to do really obnoxious things in public? Because every time I see a Walmart video, I always think there's gonna be some sort of problem. And also, these people are, telling them, you have to stop. You can't be cooking in a Walmart aisle You're in the toy aisle. Again, if a kid just runs up to you, it might be a problem. I'm not trying to weaponize that position. I'm not trying to weaponize the idea of like, this'll hurt children or something, but potentially working in retail, that's something you have to calculate for. And I feel like this is just not a good idea in an incredibly stressful position, more so for the members of staff that are telling you that you can't do it. They're already telling you, hey, you can't do it, and you continue to do it. You continue to antagonize members of staff and do things for a provocative video because you think that cooking in a Walmart's going to be cool or funny or edgy. And instead, it just makes you look like a nuisance. I feel like this always makes people look like nuisances. Every time I see a Walmart video, unless it's somebody doing a grocery haul or something like that, this just makes you look like a jerk. Like, it makes you look like you have no consideration for the spaces around you, the individuals who have to work in retail. And it's kind of ironic because I don't even have that much respect for people who work in retail, but I just have the most basic consideration to maybe not go into a Walmart and deliberately antagonize individuals just so that I can get a YouTube video out of it. I just don't understand the level of logic that goes into this kind of thing.
You think he's ever said that before?
I need you guys out now.
Do you want 2 pieces or 1?
You guys are basically stealing.
No, we're not. We paid for all this, bro.
How do you even think this is okay?
The food?
It's like quality. What do you mean?
You guys are getting kicked out and you're probably getting banned. Alright, I'm calling cops.
That's like the perfect, like it's like still gooey in the middle.
You can just take it to go.
Should we get to go back? These are on the way. For cooking eggs and bacon. This is a Dr. Seuss book in the making.
See, these guys aren't funny. Like, I feel like this just isn't funny. And, like, the appeal to being, like, ignorant, like, oh, we're not doing anything wrong. Like, what do you think we're doing? Like, we're just cooking in Walmart. It's so annoying. This is the kind of, like, child that never grew up. Like, these guys are obviously, like, basically adults. I assume they're adults. I know it's difficult to tell because sometimes a 12-year-old will look like a 20-year-old. But given that these guys have the ability to set up an entire cooking station in Walmart, and they also have the competence to just try and troll in a Walmart through the most annoying means possible, I'm pretty sure they're adults. I'm 100% sure these guys are old enough to know that this is not the thing you should be doing in a Walmart.
These are on the way. For cooking eggs and bacon. This is a Dr. Seuss book in the making.
Cook a meal inside of Walmart.
I find it kind of annoying also that it's like, here's a provocative comment on something you can do, and that is why you do it. Like, do you have to be so hyper-responsive to your comment sections that you'll actually do it? If somebody says, smash a TV inside of Walmart, are you gonna do it? If somebody says, trip members of staff in Walmart, are you gonna do it? Like, where do we draw the line? I know that it's just kind of an innocent, funny idea, and you're being responsive to your comments section, and you're saying, hey, you know, like, sure, why not? Like, it'll be funny. But I feel like at the end of the day, if this is the thing you have to do to get an audience online and garner views and, like, blow up and just be funny, I don't think it's worth it. Like, am I stupid? Because I don't think that this is a very smart thing to do. I think this is actually going to be a net negative for you in general. When I see this video, I don't think to myself, oh, that's so funny. I think to myself, man, these guys are kind of assholes, and that's kind of it. And I'm sorry if it comes off as brash or rude, but I just don't really understand what the point of this is. It's just to be a nuisance to the public. I feel like this is the kind of content that children find funny. Like, if you're a 12-year-old boy, you're like, oh my god, they cooked inside of a Walmart. But any normal person's probably gonna look at this and be like, man, that's probably not a good thing to do. And, like, this is the thing that also kind of annoys the fuck out of me. So one of the comments is, we got some guy frying food in the toy aisle, you know, and then the person says, like, he said that, like, it was an average day at Walmart. And it kind of is at times. Like, the amount of people who probably go into Walmart to try and cause these kinds of, like, troll situations, these, like, funny moments, it's probably enough for you to have to deal with a thing or two if you're there long enough as an employee. And, like, they're saying they'll call the cops. The only thing a cop is gonna do is escort you off the premises. Like, it's not that deep. And other people are making comments like, what, you know, makes you think this isn't an average day? Because working at Walmart sucks, so you deal with the worst of the worst at a Walmart. This person says, as an ex, thank God, Walmart employee, trust me, you witness the weirdest, funniest shit on a regular basis. Don't do this again. Kids will probably do the same. You know, blah, 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 going down for the responses of that comment. I'm calling the cops while enjoying the meal and ignores them. It's not, like, I just don't understand why people find this funny. Like, it's not funny. Like, I feel like these are just children or something, and that's why they find it entertaining. Like, this is not a normal way to find humor in something. Police, how'd you end up in jail? Them, we cooked at a Walmart. Florida man arrested for cooking a meal inside of Walmart. You're basically stealing. No, we paid for all of this. They did, technically, from what I can perceive, pay for all of it prior. So I'm not trying to say that they're doing anything that's actually like a crime. but they are obviously going against probably like service policies or like their policies at Walmart or whatever, you know, and it's just not a decent thing to be doing, especially when, you know, working retail is terrible. I just think that this is not a good way to get your content out. 911, what's your emergency? Someone is cooking eggs and bacon at Walmart. It's like, I don't understand why people find this kind of thing funny. I'm not trying to act like I'm superior when it comes to comedy. My comedy is terrible, but I feel like, at least in the wake of like things that I think are funny, they usually don't impair the well-being of others. But when it comes to this, there's usually a level of like mass distaste for the individuals that have to experience this. Humans, when they realize they have free will. This is the thing that I don't understand too. I would expect one person in the comments section to go like, I don't think this is a good thing to do. You know, I would expect one person in the comments section to not be laughing and, you know, let him cook and making like memes and jokes. I would expect one person like in the near top comments to be like, this is kind of a fucked up thing to do. Like, you know, you're tormenting these individuals at Walmart. You really are. Like, these people have to get you out or they're gonna get fired. I just don't understand why people think that this is a good content creation method. You know, it's going to be provocative. It's going to lead to some people wanting to subscribe or wanting to get more crazy content out of you. You know, it's going to perpetuate public freakouts and stuff. And oh my God, the staff at Walmart, look at them. Like, they don't know how to deal with us and all this stuff. But it just looks like you're a child. It looks like you're acting like a child. You're going to attract a childish audience. And instead, like, this person's like, I don't think they're getting paid enough for this. People are like, exactly, they should have let them cook. You know, it's not that serious. I said the same thing. I would not get paid enough to snitch on them. They can't not do anything if they see you cooking in a Walmart. That's like a fireable thing. If your manager sees you letting people, or you know, there's people cooking in a Walmart and your manager like knows that you're in that area, you're scouting that area, and that's happening, that's gonna be on you, and then you're gonna lose your job. And trust me, the people that are working at Walmart, that's probably one of the only jobs that they can kind of like apply for in the moment. If they lose that job, hey, they have to find another job. It's a difficulty. So I understand why people would find that, you know, this is just not a big deal and all that stuff. But at the same time, I think that this is one of those cases where, like, it might be serious to the people. Like, it's a potential hazard. It can get brought up to their superiors. People can get fired. And I know people don't really think about that. I know people don't really care. They just think, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's a funny video. But, like, to be provocative in a public space or a private establishment, sheerly to get views, will cause a net negative for the individuals and their actual lives. This is just a YouTube video. You're literally, at the very least, stressing out members of staff and tormenting individuals in a somewhat comical sense, just so that you can get a YouTube video out. Is it worth it? And I kind of want to make a YouTube video talking about, you know, why people clout chase, and also like what is too much? Like, how much is too much? Is putting your kids online too much? Is being a nuisance in public too much? You know, how much is too much? Because some of us will find this kind of content funny, but then we get to a point where we have streamers trying to like bribe people to do dangerous tasks, or we have people who are doing dangerous tasks in public for views. I think this is one step, or maybe 1.5 steps below like kick streamer vibes. So it's not like the worst thing ever, but at the same time, I really don't think this is a decent thing to be doing in general. Like, just in general. So it took us like 20 plus comments, and we finally found the comment that says, discipline your children, folks, super important. I do agree. I don't think this person was particularly well disciplined growing up, if that's the kind of thing that they're commonly doing. They think they can just do whatever they want, and there's no repercussions. And at some point, there will be repercussions, but I don't think this person will care. I dealt with kids like this in high school. Like, when we were all younger, this was the kind of guy that everybody hated. On a bigger scale, the other issue I have is it's like your tax dollars go towards funding police. Your tax dollars as an adult go towards funding police to have to, you know, take calls, protect the public. This is a waste of tax dollars at the end of the day. It's not just potentially impairing a work establishment. It's not just potentially having some kind of weird situation at Walmart with like craziness and stuff. But if you're like refusing to leave, you're still continuing to cook, they call the cops on you, then it costs the public money to have those police come out instead of answer other calls. So it's a little bit annoying. It's like, I don't think people would appreciate if they thought about the fact that their tax dollars have to go in towards Walmart calls when it comes to guys wanting to cook eggs and bacon in Walmart, that they would find it more funny. But I could be wrong. Maybe nobody cares. But this is the comment section of the person who's finally making such a comment. Finally, an adult. And then there's an argument about the having of children and stuff like that. Like, the only thing I can assume is that this audience is very, very young, because most people would probably not be into this, and it's like, people still find it funny. Whatever. I don't know. But I think it's an incredibly childish perspective to find this kind of content entertaining. I think it's actually, like, a net negative. Like, it's a net societal negative. You're causing a problem in real life in public, and now you're actually finding that this content's funny, so you're just gonna end up, you know, feeding the idiocy online. And that's just my opinion. I don't think this is a great thing you should be doing. I think that, in general, this is kind of like weak vibes. Humor's subjective, so you could argue like, oh yeah, it is totally funny, or it's not. But personally, I think that it's a net negative versus a net positive. Oh, here's this funny video of me being a nuisance in public. Oh, well, the employees at Walmart have to deal with this. The police are getting involved. Potential tax dollars will be put into that. It also will feed the masses garbage content, in my personal opinion. So I just don't think it's really worth it. And, yeah, that's the video. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think I'm overreacting? Do you think that this is an underreaction to a potentially serious problem? And, yeah, that's it. So I hope y'all enjoyed, my people. Thank you so much for watching, and, it's been lovely. See you later.